So my main claim for this evening is that the federal government should prohibit the sale and purchase of all cigarettes to the general public. Tobacco is a major market in the United States. It contains nicotine, which is addicting. It also has many other negative side effects. So my first supporting claim is going to be the effects of smoking on a person's well-being and its addicting nature itself is disagreeable to the general public. It is only a small part of the public who do not want to eliminate smoking from our society. A Gallup public poll stated that almost 4 times the number of people who want to prohibit smoking are vocal over those who do not want to prohibit it. Since most of the people do not want to stop smoking, or who do not want smoking, they should not suffer the side effects for the minority who do want to keep smoking legalized. Smoking is extremely unhealthy for society. It leads to lung and many other cancers, stroke, chronic lung disease, and coronary heart disease. There are about 438,000 plus deaths every year attributed to smoking, according to a 2001 study by the CDC. Of those 438,000, 123,800 die from lung cancer, 9,600 from chronic lung disease, 86,800 from coronary heart disease, 17,400 from stroke, and another 119,300 from other cancers and diagnoses. Even more deaths outside of that 438,000 still are attributed to secondhand smoke, which is the inhalation of smoke by those who live or are associated with smokers. Not only are these smokers literally killing themselves, but they are also contributing to the deterioration of the health of all the people around them. The general public should not have to suffer these people's misjudgments. My second supporting claim is that smoking is not only harmful to those physically, but fiscally as well. According to the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids, annual health care costs in California directly caused by smoking is $9.1 billion. Of that $9.1 billion, totally caused of that $9.1 billion total caused by tobacco usage, only a meager $2.9 billion is covered by Medicaid. This brings us to an average of just over $600 per household annually that the citizens must give up. For my third and final supporting claim, cigarette sales is hammered into the heads of the public. It brainwashes our children and pushes them into addiction. The market for cigarette advertising is incredible. In California alone, $848.3 million was spent on advertisement marketing, according to the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids. This is above increasing market size. That's pure brainwashing. That's something we don't want in our society. And while TV commercials for cigarettes have all but disappeared, smoking is still prominent in popular culture, still showing up in films, music videos, and etc. The children are affected the most in this barrage of advertisement. It is a widely observed fact that many college and high schoolers smoke. But our complacency in taking care of this issue is what's promoting it even further. And also even the tobacco companies, and I understand tobacco companies have the right to freedom of speech. But would it be right to let strangers talk constantly into our children's ears through advertising? As citizens of this great nation, it is our duty to protect our society. It is a duty to protect our children from the diseases and effects from smoking. By banning tobacco alone, we will be saving over 42,500 kids every year from a life of health problems. Thank you very much.
All right, well, your proposition is a policy claim instead of a claim of fact. The information that you presented to support your argument is all factual information on which there's no dispute. So you're presenting an informative speech on most of the supporting points. The third point there's some potential controversy on, but it's largely underdeveloped, and it's the point that you have the least amount of research on. There's not any evidence that indicates that a ban on smoking would be effective, that it would save lives. That's a presupposition. Or, for instance, any information that shows comparatively how severe restrictions on smoking produce these benefits. If we are relatively unsuccessful at prohibiting smoking in a variety of public places, why would we be able to prohibit smoking on a national basis? That's where there might be some argument on this issue, but none of your arguments address that point. They basically just outline things that people already know and nobody's going to challenge. So, like I said, I don't know where the argument is here. The place where I think it could exist is on whether or not a smoking ban could be effective, or whether or not it's going to create additional problems. Or, like I said, if you stuck with that third point, whether or not the advertising processes that are currently being used are in fact continuing to promulgate smoking among non-smokers, as opposed to simply dealing with the distribution of the marketplace among people who currently smoke. You know, what's the biggest reason that people smoke? There might be some controversy about what causes people to smoke. Is it peer pressure? Is it advertising? Those kinds of things. There could be some conflict on that. So this is the example of the speech that I told people is really problematic, because I don't, who's going to get up and say, well, smoking doesn't kill anybody? I can't imagine that anybody in their right mind would make that argument. So there's no, 90% of your argument is basically fact instead of inference, and that's a problem. All right, thank you.